I'm in the Bandelier National Park, just outside Los Alamos in New Mexico, and I've been up to the campsite, the Juniper campsite, Juniper Campground it's called, and spoken to the chap up there. He's found me a really nice pitch, and sent me down to the visitor centre. So I've just been in there, got my sticker, and started talking to a few people down there. They walk the trails up here, and they are pretty amazing. Yeah, so I've got my campsite sorted for tonight. The website says bears are active in this area, so I went into Walmart to see if I could get some bear spray today, and they didn't have any. So I kind of got a bit spooked about bears. Trying to be careful with what food I'm going to cook tonight. But speaking to the guy on the site, he's volunteered here for 3 years, every summer for 3 years, and he said he's only ever seen 2 bears. When I said to him, he goes, "Are there bears?" He went, "Well, they live here." Which is a pretty freaking obvious answer. Well, they live here. But he says he's only seen bears twice in 3 years, and he said as soon as they see you, they run away. Okay, made it to the campsite. So this is the Juniper Campground in the Bandelier National Park in Los Alamos, New Mexico. It's my first night trying to camp. National Parks pass paid off, because that saved me $29 getting into the park, and I think I've paid $12 to camp here tonight. So let's do a bit of a site tour. So you get somewhere firm to park your bike, which I'm really pleased with. Nice flat and level surface. You get a fire pit, completely redundant, now there's a fire ban on. Nice bench, which I'm currently using as a charging station. It'll be my kitchen later. Most importantly, bear safe. All my food stuff's on the top there, that will go in there tonight. Got the tent up. First time sort of pitching a tent on anything other than grass. Thankfully there's lots of rock hammers around, and I managed to get it in. So all my kit's in there, the bed stuff's sorted out, and yeah, we're in a nice little secluded site. Quite pleased with this. So weather forecast says it's going to be dry tonight, bright tomorrow. So I'm gonna, well, it's 6 o'clock in the evening now. I'm going to send the drone up in a second till I get told off, and see what the site looks like from above. But yeah, that's the Juniper Campground. Well impressed. If this is the standard for campgrounds across the United States, then I'm bollocks if I'm staying in a hotel again. If the sun's out, I'm camping. Okay, I've got to be quick before the moths come. It's probably just after 9, and this is the darkest place I have ever been to in my life. There is no light pollution anywhere, so when this light goes off, there is nothing. It's fantastic. The other thing is, we're not on any flight paths anywhere. There's no noise. There is not a single sound from anywhere. I'm loving this. Fantastic. Good morning, it's Wednesday morning, and I've survived the night. Camp's great, and breakfast is cooking. Bit of Jimmy Dean sausage, and I found these things, egg beaters, which I'm assuming are just eggs. So it's going to be scrambled eggs and sausages for breakfast. I've had a cup of tea, and had a little wander around the site, make sure I'm the only one about. But the weather looks good. I'm in for a good day, so hopefully get breakfast down my neck, and then break camp and push on. Let's see what today brings. Okay, here's a funny thing. I got the drone out last night, set it all up, and got it ready to fly, just to sort of literally do a zoomie around the camp, nothing more. And the good thing about the Mavic Mini is it won't let you fly in zones that are prohibited, so near airports, etc., military bases maybe. So when I switched it on, it said, yeah, restricted zone, not allowed to fly. And I thought, oh, I wonder if it's because it's national parks. Anyway, I spoke to the camp host there. I said, is there any rules on flying drones in national parks? He goes, not specifically, but there is here. And I'm thinking, well, what could it possibly be? And it was like, but it could be something to do with the Los Alamos nuclear laboratories that are dotted around here. We've just passed one then, and it's like, oh yeah, maybe they don't want us flying drones over what they're doing. So yeah, I did get the drone out last night, but maybe in another campsite later on I'll be able to get the drone up and see what's around. Okay, had to bring you here. This is Los Alamos, and the building behind me, or this building here, it's called the Lodge. And this is where Oppenheimer assembled some of the greatest minds to come up with a solution of turning theory into reality with the first nuclear weapons. He brought them all here to Los Alamos for several really good reasons. One, it's very remote. And you can see there's the original gate as you come through. I think we're probably quite away from Santa Fe, which is the nearest big town, so it's quite remote and easy to sort of maintain security here. The other reason is the scenery, the vistas from here, from every direction that you look from the top of this hill. It's just inspiring, and I think he's quoted as saying he wanted them to see the vistas and be inspired, and to think big thoughts that hadn't been thunk before, to make that theory of nuclear fusion into the realities. Now, there's obviously some really sort of conflicting sort of opinions on the work that they did here. They ultimately invented a weapon that killed, hundreds of thousands of people, but it ended the Second World War. So you've got this conflict between creating such a destructive weapon and bringing to the end a war that would have raged on for many more years and would probably cost more lives. But the one sort of thing I sort of take from it is that weapon was used to end the Second World War, and we've never used another one. Got lots of them, but we've never used another one. So I can't help thinking that in some way the work that they did here has made maybe the world a little bit more peaceful. You could say that we've had lots of wars, but we've never had one the same scale as the Second World War. And like I say, that's probably due to nuclear weapons. But anyway, that's the lodge. I've had a little drive around Los Alamos, and it's lovely, and some very, very clever people here. So anyway, stick with me. I'm going to head on now to, where am I going? Silverton via Pegaso Springs. So some nice roads. This place is gorgeous. I think those are the mountains I've gone across, where the $1 million highway comes through. They've still got snow at the top of them, but they had very snow recently actually, so just hoping that the road's clear, because it's quite a long diversion if you get sent round. But the hail started again, which is quite painful. Couldn't broadcast really the last one because there was too much swearing, but we are now entering colourful Colorado. So goodbye New Mexico, and hello Colorado. But what a place, look. Oh my god, those mountains over there are fantastic. Lovely. Okay, just about come to speak again. Just coming through a pass back there, just at the beginning of Colorado, and torrential rain. Road is really wet and slippery, bits of slush and ice falling on me, and there was a couple of cars and a lorry ahead of me, and they're blowing me around a bit, and I couldn't see a clear road. So the first opportunity I got on a good straight bit of road, I overtook. I got my speed back down to below the speed limit, and I was still within sight of the lorry behind me when this male deer, with a full head of antlers, just strolled out into the road. Bearing in mind I'm doing the speed limit, which is probably about 60-70 miles an hour already, and I'm thinking, okay, I can do the maths, he's going to reach the point where I'm at exactly the same time as I'm there. So managed to get the brakes on, and I missed the deer by an inch, I would say. I could smell him, it was that close. And it was only then when I actually looked and I realised that the road, it stopped raining literally instantly, and the road that I was on was dry as bone, and I had the grip to be able to slow down. So I don't know who it is that's looking after me, but thank you so much. You just saved my life. Okay, so we've left Durango and we're on the 550 just outside Silverton now, and we've climbed up. I've just seen a sign that said Engineers Mountain or something, 12,500 feet. I can tell you it's mighty nippy, which is probably the reason why some of the piles of snow are still at the side of the road here. But what a picture of a place, and the sun's out, so regardless of how cold it is, you can't help but have a smile on your face. This is lovely. Brilliant road. Now the only thing I've heard about the $1 Million Highway is it doesn't have any guardrails. So if you're on the outside edge, I don't think I am, I'm heading north, I'm not sure I'm on the inside or the outside, but if you're on the outside, there's bits of this road that have sheer drops, and nothing to stop you from going over, apart from your own sense of self-preservation. Awesome. So it looks like I'm on the outside. Oh look, there's a crash barrier. That's nice. It's kind of them. Wow, look at this place. Oh, it's beautiful. They've had rather a lot of snow. Topped it all up. Very chilly. Good morning. From a very sunny but very cold Silverton in Colorado. Had quite an interesting night here. Season doesn't start until 7th of May, so I'm about a week early, which is a bit annoying, which made it interesting trying to find somewhere to eat. But lovely little town, lots of history, gold mining mainly. They closed the last mine here in 1996, I think. Yeah, only one paved road. All of the side streets are all gravel, which is quite unique. But yeah, I found somewhere that gave me a shelter for the night, which is what I wanted. And we continue the $1 Million Highway. Now, Silverton, lovely little place, very quaint, making its money now from tourism. No mining here anymore, but I found out from the locals last night one of the reasons why they call this the $1 Million Highway is because they'd actually blasted their way through the mountains without actually really stopping to do any prospecting. So they believe that per mile there's $1 million worth of gold sort of like blasted and buried into the road, which I think is quite an interesting one. The other story is $1 million a mile to build. But yeah, waitress in my little restaurant last night, her grandfather was one of the engineers that worked on the road. Lots of lives lost building this road, and I could see why. I mean, you needed to be pretty much like a mountain goat to be able to start up here, let alone when they've managed to sort of flatten it and get it looking like a road. But yeah, quite a feat of engineering. Got to take your hats off to them. They're pretty amazing. So anyway, let's see what the $1 Million Highway for the next bit is. Apparently, I'm lucky. I'm on the inside rail for the next bit. But the only thing I've got to watch out for now is avalanches and falling rocks. So needless to say, I'm going to be taking it very, very easy. And the fact that it's so bloody cold, I don't think I'm going to meet any porcupines. So the stationary accidents hopefully will drop. Yeah. Okay, these roads just continue to climb. Lots and lots of things that could go wrong on here. Not a lot of margin of error or room for error. I'm warned about rocks. I've seen plenty, so you can't go very fast. But there's also ice water being just sort of like washed across the road as well. When I got up this morning, there was ice on the bike, so I'm expecting to hit ice patches as well. Little microclimates up here as well. So at the moment, this is possibly the scariest ride I've ever done. Stupidly doing it out of season. I imagine this road in the summer would just be amazing, but at the moment I'm not enjoying it. I'm not enjoying it because there's so much that can go wrong, but every time I look up, I'm blown away by the scenery, and I'm blown away by the fact that they built a road through it. But yeah, it's pretty cool. Okay, just to knock my confidence on this road a little bit further, came around the corner to this guy coming up the other way, lost control, spun out on a bit of ice, and that's his car in the ditch, luckily on a bit that wasn't a sheer drop. So yeah, steady going from this point onwards. Wow, this is quite impressive. I'd enjoy it a little bit if there wasn't ice patches on the road. I mean, not just sort of like you worry there might be ice. You can actually see it, and you have to try and take a straight line across it on a very, very twisty road. Speed limit's 25 miles an hour, which is ridiculously slow, but I can understand why. Amazing road. Still terrifying, still keeps on giving. So little margin or room for error here, margin of error. I mean, this car's going to be in the middle of the road as I come round. If there's a rock in my side or there's ice on my side, where do I go? So yeah, it's challenging. Well, I'm not stopping and I can't turn my head, so I'm hoping the rear facing camera is going to pick up whatever that view is. It'd be good if it is. Motorcycles, use extreme caution. Oh, fantastic, thank you. Bit of a worry when they say motorcycles use extreme caution. What are they worried about? What do they know that they're not telling me? How much caution do I need? How much is extreme? Okay, it was probably a second ago that I was coming through the $1 Million Highway and being freezing cold, terrified of the 10,000 feet. Ice on the road, snow and God knows what. Yeah, I'm in the desert now. I'm about 30 miles south of Grand Junction. I'm really beginning to wonder how Grand Junction's going to be. But yeah, about 30 miles south of Grand Junction. Then I'm going to hang a left, and a friend has recommended the Highway 128, which kind of gets you down to Moab and around the back of Arches National Park. But the road, the 128, follows the Colorado River, so I'm looking forward to seeing that. Apparently it's a very, very scenic road, but through deserts, and I can't help thinking I'm glad to see the back of snow for a bit. That was quite scary this morning, but hey ho, stick with me. Okay, I found the answer to whether Grand Junction is very grand. It's not. It's a junction. Nice little place. I've had my mystery meat and crisps and a pint of Coke. So now I am heading for the Route 128, Highway 128, which should be a lovely little ride that'll take me into Moab. Managed to book a last room in a hotel. It's been recommended by a friend. A bit more than I wanted to spend, so I'm not eating tonight, but it's recommended, and when you could get a recommendation, take it. So yeah, less disappointment that way. Okay, I'm on the 128. What a road. 360 of where I am. Now, if you want peace and quiet, come to Utah. I love this place, it's cool. Steady on. Thank you, madam. Bigger than a bloody porcupine. Couldn't really avoid that one. Stay. These things are actually quite good with cars. They know what cars are, they just leave them alone. When they see a motorbike, they freak. So yeah, be careful. Loving this road though. Look at it, it's awesome. And it's velvety smooth surface. Oh, it's just absolutely delightful. Right, okay, just make sure you understand. This is the 128. It's a scenic byway, and it cuts between the I-70 if you're coming in from the Grand Junction, and it should drop me out just north of Moab, which is where I'll be staying tonight. And when days go well, days go really well. Today's been very, very good. Obviously the terrifying ride across the $1 million highway this morning, which kind of set me up for the day, but it's been some beautiful roads all the way through today. And I took some advice from a friend who made some phone calls and said, yeah, Moabi's really busy at the moment, so I've pre-booked a hotel, and so I know where I'm staying. I'm in the right clothes, so I'm lovely and cool and breezy in this desert heat. It's fantastic. Bike's got a full tank of fuel. I'm not worried about anything, so I'm finally kind of enjoying this ride. Now this 128 follows this river along, and I was rather hoping to do some camping along here because there's a few campsites along, but national parks kind of own it, and you can't get in. It doesn't let you book, and it doesn't even tell you whether there's any sort of first come first served ones. So I've had to sort of like book a hotel rather than take a chance on trying to find somewhere to camp tonight. But the sites that I've heard about along here are alongside the river, and you're in this, waking up in this every morning. This is gorgeous. Anyway, enough of my ramblings. Onward to Moab. Wow, look at that. Cool. I think that's to keep the mammals safe, because it's a bit tight down here. This guy in the white Nissan in front of me, he's a complete lunatic. There's bends where you shouldn't be overtaking, solid lines. Yeah, he decided to overtake 4 cars in one go, all the way around the outside. And now he's got behind this Jeep and he doesn't know what to do anymore. So I might leave the camera on just so that we could record it when he turns into a ball of flame. Hi, good morning. Crikey, what day is it? It must be Friday. So Friday I'm in Moab, and I'll be heading do some desert roads today. Mexican Hat, the Forrest Gump Road into the Monument Valley, and I'm heading for as far as I feel like getting today. I wanted to camp. It's really difficult camping here. I don't know why, it shouldn't be. Really difficult camping here, but my body's a bit battered and bruised at the moment, so I'm probably going to do another hotel tonight, and then see if I can push into some national parks tomorrow. Zion, Bryce, all those ones. But it should be a good day's riding today, just desert roads. But my admin day's paid off. The bike's clean and tidy, all the fluids and everything's all been checked, and I've got everything set, ready to go. So stick with me. Right, looks idyllic, but it's bitterly cold. And it's got a wicked wind that you can't get out of. But hey, this is the picture in my mind that I had when I wanted to plan this trip. These long, straight, empty roads, apart from that car. Long, straight, empty roads. But yeah, they do go on though. And on. And on. Never underestimate how big America is. It's vast. This is Forrest Gump Point. And every motorbike in America's just decided to stop there. Okay, I'm going to have to go in. This is going to be fun. Okay, this is me and my new friend. I think his name was Mike. I do apologise if I got it wrong, from the San Francisco area, and on his adventure. But he was herding kittens with his brother-in-law and some friends from Brazil who had come over to do a few rides in America. Just watching them wheel their bikes into the centre of the live lane. And it's vamos, vamos. I admire your patience, man. But good to meet you. Really pleased to meet you. Okay, been riding all day. We left Moab this morning, did Mexican Hat, Monument Valley. Crikey, brilliant place that is. Absolutely inspirational. Sort of the reason why I wanted to do this ride. And we've been riding desert roads all day. And now I'm in the heart of the Navajo Nation. And the funny thing is, I've just had lunch at a Burger King here. And they've got a big display of the code talkers, the Navajo, that were used by the American Army in the Second World War to do all their coded messages, so the Japanese couldn't listen in because Navajo wasn't a written language, so the Japanese couldn't speak it. But a really interesting stop. But anyway, I've got the last of the saltwater taffy. I've been cutting down quite a bit each day, so I'm down to my last bit. So Dick, Barbara, thank you very much for getting me hooked on this stuff, but it's now cold turkey from now on. Anyway, tomorrow, Grand Canyon. Stay with me. This should be fun. We're at Antelope Canyon, which is something I've always wanted to see. It's a natural feature, but a slot canyon just outside Page. So gonna see if it's as interesting as I thought. Stick with me. Okay, that was pretty amazing. Slot Canyon. I've got some amazing photos, but you're not allowed to use GoPros or any video in there. The moving images of Antelope Canyon, Antelope Canyon, are copywritten by the Navajo Nation, so you can only take stills. But God, I've got some stills. That is just the most amazing place I've seen for a very long time. It is incredible. You got to do it. Come and see this place. Fantastic. Okay, that was the Canyon Inn in Page. Lovely little town. Quite like it, really. Only been here since 1957, but taking advantage of a massive big dam. I can just about see it, but you probably won't see it in the video. But that created Lake Powell. And it was quite weird coming in from towards Monument Valley yesterday, and across deserts in possibly the most landlocked state of the nation, and there's these great big sort of like gin palace boats at the side of the road and yachts for sale. But yeah, Lake Powell, big old body of water here. And yeah, they're really making the most of it. So it's a really new, sort of up and thriving town. Loads of new hotels. I managed to find the oldest, scrabbiest one possible. I had 2 rooms. This is the funny thing. She said, right, you're in number 45. but she gave me the key to number 46. So I thought, well, someone's wrong. So anyway, I go into 46 to drop my stuff, and then I walk back to the reception. But having walked into this room, there was a dead cockroach on the bathroom floor, and I saw that as a positive sign, because at least the bugger was dead. So yeah, I kept 46. Yeah, we had a little funeral for the cockroach late last night. Him and his mates turned up. The service was quite nice. You know, the buffet afterwards is a bit shit, but hey, beggars can't be choosers. It's a cheap hotel. The cockroaches aren't always as good as the better class hotels that you can go to around here. But anyway, Page, very nice. I like Page. Anyway, we're off to a little place called Horseshoe Bend. I'm told it's a bend in the river, but worth a photo, so I'm off there. Stick with me. Okay, this is Horseshoe Bend, the bit that the photographs never really show you, but it's a good long walk up to the visitor centre. A spectacular view. Craggy. That's a hell of a big crag. Wow. See that bit in the distance is the North Rim, which is where I wanted to be. But because I'm not there, I've now got 220 miles to ride today to get to my hotel. I love the national parks here. Say spoon, say cheese. Okay, just leaving the Grand Canyon, and such a spectacular place. Not seen anything quite like it. Big crack, massive big crack. So yeah, photographs have never done that justice. I've always known that it was quite a spectacle, but when you actually come up to it, your legs start going a bit weak, or like vertigo, because you've just realised just how flipping deep it is. It is something to behold. It really is. So anyway, due to the National Park Service deciding to close half a canyon for winter, I now have 211 miles to ride, and it's already 3 o'clock in the afternoon, 3:30. So needless to say, very grumpy. Very grumpy. But hey, I'll make the most of it. I'm not going to wait for that bus because he's a dick. And I'm going to go right. South entrance. That takes you to Flagstaff. If I went to Flagstaff, got a hotel for the night, I'd still have a 400-mile ride to do tomorrow. Because I've booked 2 hotels, thinking that I'd be efficient. And it's now boxed me into a corner where I've got to do a 400-mile ride in a day. So I'm not impressed. I'm not impressed with myself. Least impressed with National Park Service for closing the North Rim. How do you close a canyon? This place is great. Why don't we just go around it? Okay, so Bryce Canyon, and this is Rainbow Point. Oh my, it is gorgeous. It's so beautiful. There you go for miles. I'm thinking certainly over there somewhere is Capitol Reef, which is rather where I'm hoping to camp tomorrow. We shall see. Okay, that's the end of episode 8. Thanks for watching. I hope you're enjoying these. So I'm going to have a night here in Bryce Canyon, and then hopefully get some camping in tomorrow in the next episode as we head north, going up through Salt Lake City, Bonneville's Salt Flats, hopefully ending up in Yellowstone by the middle of the week. But I hope you're enjoying these videos as much as I'm enjoying making them. And as I keep saying, stick with me. Nearly there.